I don't know if you guys knew this about me, but I wouldn't go as far as to say I'm obsessed with Mac Miller's music, but I would definitely say it was very influential on me when I was younger, as honestly, I was more of a big rockhead, metalhead, and kids is kind of what turned me into listening to rap and what made me like rap. And the reason I even bring up Mac Miller to begin with, which RIP obviously, is because today I am going to be telling a story time on how I went to a Mac Miller concert and got super baked before, super baked during, and super baked after, even at a different concert. What is going on, people of Earth? My name is Chilly Dilly, back at you with another chill-ass story time, man. Yes, today I have a pretty interesting story time for you, man. This is going to be the story time on how I went to a Mac Miller concert at the House of Blues in rather Dayton or Columbus, Ohio. Very, very small venue. I mean, I was literally right up front, like, literally seeing Mac Miller sweat, all that. Pretty much like just a little mosh pit kind of area. And how I brought flour into there. Shout out to today's sponsor, JK Distro. We're going to be hitting their Blue Lion pen for this video, man. So if you guys are going to be smoking with me, let me know what you're smoking on. Yeah, shout out to them, man. Without them, I couldn't make these kinds of videos. So yeah, let's take it right before we do get started into this story time. Okay, so this obviously starts with a young Chilly Dilly. For those of you that don't know, I am 29 right now. This happened probably in 2015, I want to say, right after I graduated high school. I'm 18. I just moved from South Carolina to Kentucky. And I'm originally from Ohio, right? I know I'm saying a bunch of states. Anyway, my good friend of 20 years now, Austin, lives in Ohio, okay? And he lived there, like, you know, obviously I lived there for like 8 years, moved. He stayed there. Obviously, we're still homies. And he was like, yo, this Mac Miller concert's going on. I cannot remember, bro. Like, I remember it was hot out. It felt really good. Like, I want to say it was almost directly after summer. Like, I want to say maybe October or something. Anyway, Mac Miller was doing his Good AM tour, which sadly I didn't have that vinyl, but I'm going to get them all. So Austin had actually just moved out of his parents, moved away from Wilmington, and was living with like his cousin. Anyway, it was close to wherever the concert was. So, bam, we bought tickets. And, okay, so I obviously was a big smoker. Austin was, like, kind of just a big smoker when I was around, or if he was around a homie that smoked, right? And this is, like, definitely during my I really don't give a fuck era. And what I mean by that is, like, I'm smoking anywhere, everywhere. I don't give a fuck what you say, right? Like, if you're like, we gotta go right now, I'm like, hold on, let me smoke this bowl. Or I'm like, I'm smoking the bowl in this car. And I just did not give a fuck. So, I get there, start hanging out with Austin, bro. Me, him, and his cousin. I cannot remember if it's his cousin or his uncle. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Anyway, we go out to eat the night before. I think we even had a couple brewskis, which obviously we weren't that age. But I think Fred liked it. I don't fucking know, okay? Anyway, the next day, boom, the night of the day of the concert. It was at nighttime. So we had just planned to, like, dick around all day. And then when it was time to go, it was like maybe a 2-hour drive. I don't fucking know. Anyway, you know I'm getting like super, super ripped before we even go. I probably brought like a half zip, maybe a little more. And all I brought, right, because I don't even think I knew how to roll papers at this time. I probably knew how to roll blunts, but I don't know why I didn't. I just had this like big, this little pipe bowl or this little bowl. Sorry. I'm yapping so much. Let's take a rip break. Anyway, I had this like bowl. I can't even remember how I got it. I think I stole it from somebody. Just like a you know, just a regular like blue spoon bowl or a spoon pipe, I think is what they call them. Anyway, so I'm just hitting out of that like constantly, bro. I just keep fucking adding little bowls, and we're on the way to the concert, right? I have all this weed on me, and Austin was driving his car. And I was just obviously the passenger. And I can't remember if I hit the bowl or not on the way there. I want to say I did, because we got pulled over because he was speeding and he got a speeding ticket. But they never said anything about a smell or anything. So boom, whatever. We get to Columbus or I really wish I could remember the city. You'll just have to look it up if you want to. House of Blues, which is a very popular kind of venue. Anyway, we get there. I think we go eat. I don't fucking know, bro. Honestly, that shit didn't really matter to me. I'm here to watch Mac Miller. And I guess I should also say as well that this is going to be like the first concert I've ever brought weed to. And I've always heard people doing it, all this other stuff. And I was definitely nervous, okay? So I brought my grinder full of flour and my pipe. And I'm talking like I sat probably 20 minutes in this parking garage just grinding a fuck ton of flour, hitting bowls, Austin hitting bowls. Like it's time to go, right? Like it's already getting late and I'm just like, no, just wait. I need to grind more. And I have this grinder, and it was a decent sized grinder. I had this grinder so full of flour. It's above the holes, like it's everywhere, right? So I'm like, bet, now we can go. I have them in my pocket, okay? I'm not thinking anything of it. I obviously had been to a concert before, but I guess I was just so stupid. I didn't think that they'd have metal detectors or anything like that. Well, guess what? My grinder was metal. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God. And we just walked so far from the parking garage to the venue. And I'm like, dude, we gotta go back. Like, I gotta get rid of this grinder, essentially. And he was like, bro, we are not going back. Like, it is gonna be so much later by the time we get here. And I was like, fuck it, bro. So what did I do? I took out the grinder. I emptied it all in my pocket. Okay, like I think it was still hot out, so I was definitely wearing like cargo shorts. Okay, so I pretty much put it in like the cargo shorts pocket. Just a fucking layer of flour and fuzz and whatever the fuck else was in my pocket. And I have my bowl in there as well. So I'm not freaking out about the bowl because it's not a metal one, it's just a glass. Which, honestly, I don't even think that they would care about the grinder. I just was young, didn't know, whatever. So boom, I do that. I pretty much chuck the grinder and I'm like, fuck it, we're doing this, right? And I'm like, my heart's beating out a million miles a minute as we're getting in there. Boom, just does like a little scan of like my crotch area and then didn't even matter. Boom, we're in. This is where it starts to get really fun, obviously. So like I said, it is a very, very small venue. They had like a little bar area and then kind of like, I guess you would call it dance floor or whatever, but that was like where you could be right in front of the stage. It was amazing, okay? I can't remember who opened for him, but I'm sure it was probably like Vince Staples or somebody like that, I'm sure, right? Or Earl Sweatshirt, maybe. I don't fucking know. It was just, this was like 2015 Mac. Good AM just came out. So, anyway, boom. We're in this, and it's like super dark in there. And of course, the first thing I do is bring out my bowl and instantly put it in a bowl. Or, yeah, you get what I'm saying. So, boom, I'm chiefing on these bowls, bro. I'm seeing joints everywhere. Like, shit is going crazy. I'm having a great time, bro. We even had convinced this dude to get us a couple drinks because Austin was always way more of a drinker, I guess, than a smoker. So, I convinced this dude to get us, like, 4 drinks, essentially. So, there's, like, 3 entrances to the dance floor, 2 on the side, 1 in, like, the middle. We're probably on the right side. And bro, like it is so close to Mac Miller. I can feel the bass so hard. I'm just like jumping with a bowl in my mouth, smoking bowl after bowl after bowl. I remember even at one point, like they started a little mosh pit thing and I got in. Oh wait, no, that was the next one. My bad, that was the next concert. So anyway, yeah. So we're at the Mac Miller concert. I'm literally watching up close. Having an amazing time, smoking bowl after bowl. People are passing around joints. I'm having a couple burrs, and everything is just amazing, bro. So boom, that ends, but guess what? Something I didn't really mention, we actually had a second concert to go to. And I know that sounds fucking crazy, right? But somehow, I don't know how, like I think it was probably a little, almost to halfway, but there was a metal concert literally right down the street, a couple bars down. So we get out of this Mac Miller concert. My ears are ringing. I mean, it's just smoke coming out of this fucking place like crazy. It's an amazing time. And then just right down the street is a metal concert. This band, I think they're called Issues. I don't even know if they're still around. I had never even heard of them. Come to find out, my homie was like obsessed with them. But you know, obviously I'm obsessed with Mac Miller. And now we get to go to my homie's favorite band. And like I said in the beginning, I love metal and I love rock. So this is even more fun time for me. Boom, we get in. It was one of those where like you definitely had to get the X on your hand because we weren't 21. We did not drink here, but I remember I was once again smoking quite a bit, but I will say that a lot of other people were not smoking. So like, I kind of had to be a little more private with it, a little more hidden, because this like, this area was a bit more dingy. This bar was definitely a bit more dingy. I mean, you can imagine what a punk rock metal show would be looking like, right? So, anyway, we start like a mosh pit, or they start a mosh pit. I get in it. I'm going fuck crazy with all this weed in my pocket and this fucking pipe in my pocket. And somebody hits the fuck out of me, bro. And I'm like super small at this time, right? Like 110 pounds, 120 pounds. I get knocked the fuck back, bro. Knocked back so hard that my like shoe flies off. And I remember like the whole pit was like pretty much stopped to pick up my shoe and was like, whose shoe is this? Whose shoe is it? And it was so fucking cool, bro. Like, I had an amazing time just smoking bowl after bowl after bowl, getting fucking hitting people. It was an awesome time, bro. Like, I love concerts, and that was definitely my favorite concert that I've ever been to, because with just how close I was to Mac Miller, just not even knowing exactly, I guess back then, like, yeah, I loved his music and whatnot. It wasn't even until later in life that I was like, oh shit, like, I actually resonate with some of this, especially like Faces and whatnot, till like I went through my own drug addiction. But I was so young at that time, like, all I was relating to was kids. I didn't really understand like good AM and how important that was and stuff. And no, I did not get the grinder. For anybody wondering, I did not go back and get the grinder. I completely forgot, as I usually do. But yeah, then we just drove back, smoking a bunch of bowls, got back, definitely passed out pretty quick just because it was already pretty late. But dude, this shit was so cool. But that is the end of my story time, man. Like I said, this was one of my favorite concerts of all time. Let me know your guys' favorite concert if you've been to one. The other ones that I've always been to have been like rather outside, pretty far away, or in an arena pretty far away, right? Because I'm not paying for fucking close-up seats. It's very rare that you get to see the artist so close. And the fact that Mac Miller at his Good AM stage, where he was already like really popular, that was even a thing. Super, super cool. I think it just says a lot about him. Anyway, RIP Mac, man. Definitely miss him, miss the music. Love his music. Check out his music if you haven't. And yeah, if you enjoy the End Bump, you can send your own to chillydillyendbumps at gmail. Much love. Be safe. Peace.
Yeah, should've died already. Faces. I should've died already. Shit, faces. Yeah, I should've died already. Came in, I was high already. Everybody tripping, never mind, ain't steady. From my sin, should've been crucified already. Why the fuck you need me? Don't you know how to fly already? Try to tell you that it ain't real. Tell them find that Yeti. Oh, motherfucker. And it all to them right now. I never been so ready. All my homies philosophers. Yeah, all my homies philosophers. And I don't need nobody, I would love somebody though. Don't you ever get it fucked up. Everybody wanna be God, besides God. He wanna be like us. We never sleep too much. Beat that pussy up, she gonna need that trust. Never see me in the street too much, but on the inside, I'm outside all the time. Trying to stay away from electric shock. That electric shock